and welcome to another episode of our continuing series around what to do with our Ultra courses that were converted. And today I want to focus on what we're looking at as a hot topic, if you will, in terms of some of the things you might see in your courses. We looked at this in a small way when we talked about our course information section in our first episode. But I want to focus specifically on what you might see in your own course. So, at times in original courses in Blackboard, you're going to have files that you might have attached to an item. Now, when they come over in Ultra, they look a little different, and I'm going to show you why. So here we have a course. In original, you might have attached some files to an item so that students can download them. A syllabus might be that, for example. You might have an item that you created that had a syllabus attached to it, but what that does for the student is it actually gives them more clicks to open something. And there's really an easier way for that to happen. But I'm going to show you what that might look like as it comes over. So you'll see here, you've got document 1 and document 2. The item itself didn't have any content on it in original, but that was okay because it showed up in the description of the item. And so the student didn't have to open the item to get to the file. They just saw it right there. Well, Ultra is laid out differently. So we have to rethink how we put that stuff together. So if I were to click on document 1 right now, you'll see for the student that if they were to get access to this particular document, they would have to click on it yet again to access it. That's not really good, right? You would like to do less clicks to get to the content that they need. Now, there's another way to think about this. I could consolidate, and you can see here on the second document, it does this, the behavior is the exact same thing, right? So I could do something that consolidated these two things, right? I could open up document 1 here. Whoops, excuse me. I could open up document 1 here and add some contextual text if I wanted to tell them something about this document, and then maybe even add that second document to this page. And I can do that simply by clicking my 3 dots here, the ellipsis. And remember, in Ultra courses, that's how we edit things. In original, we look for that little chevron, but in Ultra, we look for the ellipses, or the 3 dots. And so I can click on the 3 dots and then choose Edit, and then I could actually type in some contextual content to go around that document, right, if I wanted to. And then I could actually go in and attach the other file and have it be, both of these files be available in one simple place. And that's definitely something that we can do, right? But again, that may not be what you want. A great way that Ultra works in terms of documents is, or files that you upload, you can actually make a file that you upload become an item in the navigation structure of your course. So what does that mean? Well, that means that just like here on this introduction and assessment, this is just a page in the course. Well, I can make a file I upload become a page. Now, to show you what I mean, let me give you a student preview of this particular course, right? So we're going to open up our student preview of the course and go down to module 2 here, and you're going to see those are hidden. But by navigationally, that means that I can click through this content and it will show up page by page. If I didn't do that, right, if I did not have that set up, the student would get to the next page and yet have to click again to open the document. But there's a better way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit my student preview. And that will allow me to get back into my course as the instructor. And I'm going to start by taking this file that's here in document 1. If I don't already, I'm going to choose to download the file and save it to my computer. I've already done so, so I don't need to do it again. But if you haven't already, download the file to your computer before you try to re-upload it. And so I'm going to do that. And now I'm going to go to my right where I want it to be. Remember, one of the benefits of Ultra is I can add content wherever I want that content to live. It doesn't automatically show up at the bottom and then I have to reorder it. I can place it right where it needs to go. So I will click here just under the table and YouTube item and do upload. This allows me to upload that file specifically as a content item inside this module. So I will choose upload. Find the actual document that I would like to click on. And it says, okay, do you want your students to be able to view and download it, view only or download only? I always like view and download, unless it's some specific thing you just want them to see and not download. You can do that, but I like view and download. I would then, a good practice here to remember while you're thinking is to rename the document, right? This particular document name doesn't really call out to me anything, so it might be lecture notes for module 2, right? I want them to know what that is based on what the title is, right? So I'm going to choose save. Now, it's currently hidden, but I'm going to make it visible. What I'm going to do briefly is show you the difference between how students might access these two separate documents, document 1 versus this new one that we just added, right? So, because I went here and clicked my plus button and chose to upload, it actually turned that entire document into part of the navigation structure of this module. So you'll see in practice what that means. I'm going to turn back on my student preview. It's going to open my course in the view of a student, which, by the way, again, is a great best practice for any instructor to look through your course as a student so you can identify obstacles or points of emphasis that you might want to make during the course for your students to see. All right, so here we are going into the module, and let's say I wanted to start them going through it, right? They could start here, they look at the content, okay, there's some content here, goes on to this particular bit of content, they can go to this next bit of content. Now, this next page is how it came in by default, how the conversion brought the thing over because it was just attached to an item with no content. So you're going to see now that it's just a page with some random stuff on it, nothing that really differentiates for the student what it is, and also it adds another click for them. So they would need to either click again to open it. And you know, I like to reduce the amount of clicks for you and your students. So without further ado, instead of that, we're going to go on to what the newly added piece of content looks like. So I'm going to click my next right arrow. And now that new document shows up right here, right? So again, this is something that shows up as part of the content. They would page through it just like normal. They wouldn't have to click and then click again to open. It's going to open automatically for them. And by open automatically for them, that means any PDF, any Excel, any Microsoft Office document, any PowerPoint, those types of things will open automatically as they page through your content. So there's no extra click to get to the materials that they need. So one more time, I'm going to add a second document so you can kind of get the feel for how this works, right? So I'm going to save my progress. Sure, fine. But I'm going to go back to this module. And I'm going to go here and go to my module 2, just in module 1, actually go underneath where it says document 2, click the plus sign, because remember, that's how we add in Ultra. There is no create button anymore, like there's no build button, excuse me, anymore. Now, whenever you want to add something, just look for the universal symbol of addition, right? So I'm going to click on my little plus inside this module, go to upload, and then I'm going to choose that second file, right? So now, and it's going to be, I'm going to call this one answer key for assignment, right? And I'm going to leave it view only. I don't want them to download, they can only view it. And I'm going to hit save. Now, I want you to see that like how that looks differently from how it might have originally looked in the course too. So I'm going to keep this in terms of the order that I'm showing you as we look at it as a student. So I'm going to make sure the answer key for assignment is visible. And then I'm going to scroll back up and turn back on my student preview. Now, when I do this, again, it's going to make it more efficient for my students to access the content, which is what we want. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't still have attachments with provided context that students can then click and open to see, because that's part of how Blackboard works anyway, right? But what I can do now is open up my module and go start here at document 2. This is what it looked like originally, right? It was just one page with another thing I'd have to click on to open. So here, again, you'll see that that opens, but it was an extra click for the student, right? In this case, they can go to the right, and the one that I uploaded rather than attached to a document is already there. They already see it. It's in line. And so we did this by going to our module, get inside of it, click on the plus, and choosing to upload. And to show you where that looks like again, you go inside the module, open it up, find where you want to add the file that you've saved, click the plus, and choose Upload. And that makes it part of the navigational structure of your particular chunked bit of content. So again, it reduces clicks, it gets them quicker access, and it's just another way to explore adding content to your Ultra courses. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.